The purpose of this video is to introduce a few ways to improve Google searches. With our 8th grade research project, we'll be using Google to find facts. Before we determine our opinion, we'll be looking for facts on both sides of various arguments. Once we decide what our topic will be, we'll be using Google to search for evidence to support our opinion, but also so that we fully understand the opposition's best argument. So in today's packet, you'll see some of the things that we'll review today, okay? In addition to a link that will take you to this video if you want to review it at another time. So last week we practiced Google Voice. Define plagiarism.
Plagiarism, the practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as one's own.
All right. So teachers actually use Google to find student plagiarism. It's a very useful tool for us also. How important is media literacy?
According to Center for Media Literacy, it provides a framework to access, analyze, evaluate, and create messages in a variety of forms, from print to video to the internet. Media literacy builds an understanding of the role of media in society as well as essential skills of inquiry and self-expression necessary for citizens of a democracy.
All right, so we appreciate that our information isn't censored, but that means, again, that we need to be careful about the information that we're looking at. A couple things to keep in mind. Of course, the words that you search are important. When we're using Google Voice, we might pose it in a question, but when we search in Google, we want to limit the words that we search, okay? Google also tells us that the word order matters, okay? So they showed an example of if you're searching who, okay? Capitalization doesn't matter. Here's the World Health Organization comes up first. Of course, we didn't capitalize it, but Google doesn't care if you capitalize. English teachers do, however, keep that in mind. If we add the word a in front of the search, we get Dr. Seuss's Horton Hears a Who, okay? If we have the in front, we get the rock band, The Who, okay? So word order does matter, capitalization does not. You also want to make sure that you are searching exact words that you want to use in order in your search, and you put those in quotations, okay? So when you know that you're looking for information about the Great Wall of China, include that in quotations, okay? Might not be a great one for our controversial issues, but I want to show you another tip that this brings up, okay? So, Great Wall of China, we start with information about Wikipedia. Remember, we can use Wikipedia as a tool to find other sources. We don't want to use Wikipedia on our Works Cited page. So we see history information, but then we get some information about travel and tours, okay? I don't want information about travel and tours, so I'm going to subtract any information about travel. I'm going to subtract any information about tours, okay? Enter. So you'll now see that the information is now limited to the information that we were looking for, right? You might still get some information that isn't useful, but at least it's going to reduce that additional information and speed up your search, okay? So covered word order, capitalization, doesn't matter, and include information in quotes, right? And again, if you go through that search and you're seeing additional information that's not necessary to your source, then you just subtract it and you put it right in that search line, okay? You can also search specifically by a news type, okay? So you're familiar with a credible source, and you want to search just through the PBS NewsHour, all right? So you enter that into the search line, and now it's just searching pbs.org, okay? Or other things that are similar too, okay? You could also search by domain names, right? So if you want to keep it to educational websites, you can just add the .edu in the search, and then here we have all of our sources with a domain of the .edu. You can use .org, but you do have to be careful because some .orgs will include biases. With our controversial issues, we might search .govs in order to find Supreme Court rulings or other legal information, okay? So another good trick. Another way to improve your searches is to use the tools, okay? You can use it in a variety of ways, but something that's really helpful with our controversial issues is to look for something and change the time range of the search, okay? So let's try gun control. So we're going to have a variety of information. Again, if we're seeing information that we want to limit, we can take that away, okay? But if we go to the tools, okay, we can change the search to something in the past hour. So perhaps you'll get the latest tweet from President Trump. You might search something more like in the last month, okay? And then you can change it to being sorted by date, so the most recent would come first, and then you would have that entire search. You can also change it to verbatim, but if you were going to search using the quotation marks, you don't need to do that. You can change the setting and try an advanced search, but basically that's the same thing as what we were doing previously, right? We're using words in order in quotes. We're using only important words in our search. We're adding those domain names that we're interested in. So you can do it that way, but you don't have to. You can just enter it all into the search. So you can also select news, and then just news on that information would show up, okay? If you found a site that you decide is biased, again, you could subtract that from the search, okay? Sometimes when you do a Google search, Google will give you a search summary, okay? So here's a search of a Katniss flower. This is the summary, and you'll see that it has live links that would take you to additional information. The next thing that you should remember is the use of a control F, okay? So if you find a document and it's 10 pages and, you know, it has one sentence of information that you're hoping to use as evidence to support your opinion, you can use the control F to find it, okay? So let's go back to the voice tool. Tell me about hydraulic fracking in Middleville, Michigan. Okay, so the voice doesn't always respond. Sometimes it just gives you the information. So if I'm looking at a longer piece of information and I want to find where they are talking about Middleville, rather than spending hours searching, I hit the Control button and the F, and then you would type in the word that you're searching for here, okay? On Chrome, it's going to be the top right. So it's telling me that the word Middleville is in there 3 times. It's highlighting the word the first time it's in the source, okay? You'll also see over on the side where it is in the document. So we see it here, and they're talking about the land area that has hydraulic fracking in Middleville, okay? If we want to go to the next one, we click down, and we're seeing both of those are together, okay? A really useful tool, again, to speed up the Google search. Okay, so just a few, excuse me, a few tricks to improve your search. Remember, word order does matter, okay? Capitalization does not. Put things in quotation marks, and then Google will search in order, okay? And all of those words together. If you find additional information coming up in the results, then you can subtract it from the search. You can search directly, so you don't really have to do an advanced search, but you can use a direct site, or you can limit it to a specific domain, okay? Remember to use the tools if you want to change the time range. If you're looking at the controversial issues like we are, you might want to do that in order to find the most up-to-date information. Remember to look at the Google summary. You don't always get a summary in your results, but those can be useful too because of the live links that are attached. And also with longer documents, use the Control F in order to find information there. Okay?